Hi, Aquarius. I just got done with the Taurus reading and then I sat and meditated and I wanted to sit in your energy for a minute before I started your reading because theirs was really heavy. And I'm like, Aquarius, it doesn't have such a heavy reading for November, so I've got to like wipe that all clean. It's really funny because what kept coming up while I was meditating was how you guys kind of like look at everybody that's going through all these transformative phases, this transformation time, and you're like, what the hell is that? Like, what are they doing? Like, really, like, what are they doing? So we have the Page of Swords, with a childlike curiosity. Like, why are they acting like that? Why are their lives totally falling apart? And yeah, I mean, like, things can go bad in your lives, but you don't need to go through this intense spiritual awakening to get there. A lot of you probably do go through that in your lifetime or have gone through that in your lifetime. But with Aquarius, Sagittarius, Scorpio, it's like an automatic, like you're automatically already born into being esoteric, into having that higher knowledge that there is something else out there that's bigger than you. But at the same time, you have this very logical side, such a push-pull, right? You have this very logical side where you're like, no, I'm just going to believe what I see. Like, seriously, I had this really deep conversation with a good friend of mine who's an Aquarius, and we were talking about that, where there's like this like need to believe it if you see it and not just believe it without seeing it, right? Like there's such a fine line between the two of them. And you guys struggle with that. You know, you struggle with that because you don't have to have your entire life like ripped away from you to know that there's already a higher purpose, that there's already like a reason for you to be here. You're born into that. And because it's all, your entire life is all about evolution. Your entire life is all about like, what can I do for the betterment of society? How can I make things grow and be bigger and be better? And why am I talking about this? During the Scorpio season, I feel like you are going to be reflecting a lot on your past. And I was going to say that, and the Six of Cups came out. So confirmation, right? We also got the Queen of Swords and the Six of Cups. So again, that very childlike Page of Swords, curiosity. You could be like learning a lot of new things or really looking into a lot of new stuff right now. But you're also doing it in a super logical way, like the Queen of Swords. You're doing it like November is going to be a month for you guys where you're recognizing the things that you've always thought or the things that you've always known. The thoughts and the ideas that you have subscribed to your entire life may not really be what they seem. That's okay. Jupiter's moving into Sagittarius. And it's going to be bringing a lot of really good luck to you guys. It's going to be bringing a lot of, why? Is it going to be? Because it's going to be doing that for all the signs. But you have to work with the energy. Right now is you trying to decide, Two of Wands, how to use that luck for the next year. How to use that energy for the next year. Jupiter, is a sign of expansion. And it's at home in Sagittarius. Reflecting on where you've come from and where you want to go is going to be big because there are big things coming. Your life is, you're looking at like, how did it not work for me before in the past? And how can I make it work for me now? Now, you could be dealing with another air sign or somebody who has a lot of air in their chart or prominent air placements in their chart. And learning a lot, like either, I feel like you have kind of this person that you're kind of bouncing ideas off of. And yeah, the Six of Pentacles, the give and take of that energy. You know, where are you putting your energy and is it going for the betterment? I feel like this is more of a give and take kind of camaraderie type relationship that you guys are having in November, because you have a lot of questions. And when an Aquarius has a lot of questions, by God, they're going to find the answers to it. They just will. And they'll do it in any way, shape, or form. Any way possible that they can do it, they're going to go for it. And I think that's what you're doing. Because the future, you have a lot of things that you want to do in the future. You're just not really sure. I don't want to really do it the same way I used to do it. But what do I believe in now? Where do I stand with this now? This Six of Cups could also be kind of like, the Six of Cups is the soulmate relationship too. But I think that the Knight of Wands is either a person coming into your life really like hot and heavy, pretty fast, or this is you like, where do I fit? Because I think the question of where do I fit? Do I fit back in my past? Do I fit into my future? Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? A lot of research going on with you guys, like inward research. And if that's not you, if you already know your place in the world, which I don't know very many people right now that know their place in the world, and the reason for that is because things are changing so rapidly that it's almost like you're being uprooted on purpose anywhere you are in your life. Doesn't even matter. Like anywhere you are, you're being uprooted and you're being asked to totally change things. So if you are a person that's already very established in where you are, I do feel like somebody's going to come along and kind of be like, are you really happy there? Are you really, truly happy in the moment of, even if it's comfortable for you, even if it's a place that feels like you couldn't ever leave a situation or leave a job or leave whatever it is that you feel this pull of a kind of a new future, a new essence that's coming into your life. And the thinking about it is kind of driving you crazy. Because you're like, I don't know what to do with this energy. It feels very back and forth. It feels very up and down, in and out. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here. It's okay to not know. And I feel like that's why you kind of have a confidant. You have somebody to bounce ideas off of. You have a person, could be the Empress here, that you have kind of a curiosity about, whether it's a person or it's a place or it's a thing or it's a job. This is all about, like, the Empress is growth and creativity. The Empress is somebody who's very nurturing. The Empress has it all. And you look at this person and you see, how did they do that? I want to do that. How did they do it? How did they manage to get it all? I bet you anything that they managed to get it all through a lot of hard work and that breakdown of their life before they had to rebuild and become the Empress. They weren't always the Empress. So, and that's what I mean. That's where I wanted to start with talking about how you guys are just kind of born into the esoteric existence, whether you realize it or not, because you were programmed your entire life to think one way. And now you're looking at your life in a different way and you're like, how do I get that? How do I get to that Empress quality? How do I get everything, and you're watching this person or you're seeing how this person moves in their life. But you're not doing it in an envious, egotistical, gimme kind of way. It's kind of like an awe, like you're in awe of it. So looking back into your past, it's a very specific message for someone. Someone needed to hear that you're kind of, there's this person that you look upon with such a curiosity and such an instinct of, I need to have more of that in my life. Because you're looking back into the past and you're like, I want more. See how that works? Six of Cups and the Two of Wands. You're looking back at the way you've done things before. And yeah, see? Nine of Swords. And it brings you anxiety to be in the spot that you're in right now. And let's be real. You're not an Aquarius if you've never been in a Nine of Swords state where you're thinking way too much and it gives you a lot of anxiety. And sometimes you actually stay awake at night thinking too much about it. Because you want more out of your future. And you're trying to not make the same mistakes all over again. Because as an Aquarius, you recognize when you make the mistakes and where you need to fix it, right? Don't get so caught up in the literal sense of being, of seeing somebody's life and really wanting to master what they've mastered, because you're going to master something much different and more beautiful in your own way, right? They did it in their own way. You're going to do it in your own way. The thing is like the curiosity of it has really sparked a nerve. And November is going to be about digging deep. And if you guys just rolled your eyes and you're like, oh my God, I've been digging deep for so long. Don't be, and see what I mean? Don't get defensive. Don't get defensive with me. We got this. I got you. It's okay. We can do this together. Like, I'm not going to just leave you guys hanging. Like, how do I dig deep? How do I keep digging deep and not feeling like I'm going anywhere? Are you really digging deep, or are you sitting up in your head? Are you looking at things in a very literal way? And when I say literal, I mean not allowing your mind to expand of the possibility that whatever you've been searching for, or whatever you've been growing, or whatever you've been going for, just may not be the thing that you need to be going for. You may need to be looking at it differently, because you're looking at other people in your life and you're like, how the hell did they do it? Like, I wanted to say another bad word, but I wasn't going to. How the hell did they do it? And here I sit, kind of stuck in my existence, doing the same thing, doing the same routine over and over and over again, where I don't feel like I have any kind of expansion happening. Don't block that out. Don't be defensive about the past. Don't be defensive about the things that you've already done, the places you've already been. Come back to me. Come back to me, Aquarius. Expand. It's time for expansion. It's time to no longer be set in your ways of comfort. It's time to no longer look into your future and be like, no, this is exactly what I want and this is what I'm going to go for. And be stuck on that certain outcome and that certain idea. This is the person I want to be with. This is who I'm going to go for. This is where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I'm comfortable here. This. Because life is changing. And you guys have been through a lot of changes this year. And you've done it beautifully. Like, seriously, I watched my Aquarius friends go through so many differences and changes this year. And being a fixed sign, yes, you guys are the water bearers. You move the air and make the water move. And that's why you're getting through all of this watery, heavy energy so famously. Because you are not keeping that water stagnant. You're moving it. You're moving through it. You're saying, no, I'm not okay with that, so I'm going to go this direction. The thing is you have a tendency to fall back into that fixed, literal mindset. And it's time to not block the expansion. You're just waiting for the change to happen instead of making the change happen. You're waiting for something to come to you instead of actually doing it for yourself. And that's where we have to remove the stagnant water, right? Because that water's going to sit in a puddle until you come along and blow it. And this heavy energy, this heavy water Scorpio energy that we're going through right now and into November needs that air to blow it, get the waves going. Get the waves going. You guys are all about evolution, and Uranus is doing its dance between Taurus and Aries right now. It will go direct. I believe it's January that it goes direct. Uranus is your sign, or is your planet. And It is definitely transforming you in a lot of ways. If you guys get stuck in what does my future look like? Where am I going from here? This is what I was talking about, the stagnant water. You don't want to be blindfolded right now. Because as you're looking into the future, see that Two of Wands, how that guy is looking into his future? He's holding a globe. So much out there. There's so much that you could go for. But being stuck in a state of mind of doing the same thing over and over and over again, when things are changing so rapidly and you've done so well in the past to change with it, you don't want to get stuck right now. You don't want to get stuck right now. And the energy is perfect for you to not be stuck. Yes, you may have a tendency to get there. Yes, you're going to get up in your head. Yes, you're going to have to deal with some pretty rough moments. Where are you placing your energy right now? The Six of Pentacles is asking you where you're placing your energy, and the Tower is saying probably not in that direction. The Tower energy isn't rough for me. Again, we're talking about evolution here. And you guys are good with evolution. You just are. Your life isn't going to look like other people's lives. And I bet you anything that that person had to go through a lot to get to where they are. And if you are in a spot where you're kind of envious of what's going on around you and what other people are doing, and you really don't want your life to stay stuck in the place that it's been in all this time, then get up and get moving. Right? Don't do that wishy-washy back and forth. Some days I feel like this, some days I feel like that. I'm going to sit in my head today. I'm going to get going tomorrow. Like, don't do that to yourself. Just take the next big step. I was wondering, Knight of Cups. There's definitely a question of love here. Or any kind of, relationship in your life. Because I think the hesitancy of the decisions that you're trying to make, you being hesitant about accepting what kind of offer you want to have, you being hesitant about that is blocking your progress as well. Because you don't want to go back again. You don't want to go back into the past of like how things used to be. If somebody is inching their way in, if you have been, watching somebody's life, or they've been inching their way in, or you've been inching towards them, I feel like there's kind of a shock for you in November to recognize that it's not the same. This person, whoever it is, isn't the same as what it used to be. And getting up in your head about, what does this mean? What is this? Like, I feel like you guys are constantly saying, what does this mean? Just because it didn't work out in the past, whether it's a new person or an old person, just because a relationship didn't work out in the past that you felt very, very close to, doesn't mean you need to block all the other relationships out. Or all the other people out. And it's not gonna be easy to move forward. It's not gonna be easy to accept new things into your life. The Five of Wands and the Ace of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, see what I mean? Two of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, King of Wands, Knight of Swords. At the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the inner turmoil that you have about whatever new developments, like I said, if somebody's inching towards you or you're inching towards them and you've been watching the way a person moves in their life or the way things are going in their life, the inner turmoil of this newness could be an earth sign, could be another air sign. The connection has it like you're all torn up about it. There are two aces here with the soulmate card in the middle. And for me, there's this, like the feeling that I'm getting for you guys is the inner turmoil that you have about some particular person in your life is stopping you. Like, part of you really wants to rush in. Part of you wants to have that fire behind you, right? But then we go back to the Knight of Wands. Are you being the Knight of Wands, or are you being the King of Wands? Are you being discerning, or are you overthinking it, right? The Queen of Swords with the Knight of Swords. Like, it could be a fire sign, it could be an earth sign, it could be an air sign. We do have Libra and Taurus here. Sagittarius is very strong here. But more than anything, for me, this is like, I got to find the confidence to really like be able to do this, right? I got to find that childlike quality. There's Temperance again. So Sagittarius. You know, and it's like, I mean, like even I'm tripping up on my words because I feel like that's where you guys are headed here. You really want it. You see how good it could be. It's very fulfilling. It's actually very stable. It's promising. It's like this big promising thing that's kind of being laid out to you, and yet you stop it. You stop it from happening. And I think part of you is like, no, I'm just being discerning. But the other part of you is really, really guarded because of the things that have happened to you in the past. Don't concern yourself so much with what hasn't happened and live more in the now. Because you guys have had this steady growth throughout the year. Yes, there have been some really hard times. I feel like this Tower energy is more of a shock for you, like shock value. Like, can it really be give and take? Is it real? Because for you, it's almost like you're trying to make it so literal or think it to death. You're thinking too much into the Tower. Maybe there are some things that you need to let fall away in your life so it can be more reciprocal. So it doesn't feel like you're constantly fighting against an energy that wants to come in. Because if you're always fighting against an energy that wants to come in, because of things that have happened to you in the past, or because things didn't work out with another person, or whatever it is that's stopping you, whatever you're blocking because of your past, that's what you need to heal. And November, these cards are a disaster, which is so funny. It's just like, I feel like you guys are like, I'm so confused. I don't even know what to do. If you don't get anything else from this reading, the inner turmoil that you have is an illusion. The inner turmoil of whatever's going on in your life with another person, or just with yourself. Like, I want this. You're like, I want this fulfillment. I want to be able to offer something to somebody. I want to be able to have this stable future and existence, but I'm afraid because I've allowed that energy to come into my life before, and it just kind of made me stuck, right? The Hanged Man kind of made me stuck. Well, it's clear that, yes, you've been through this burden for a while. Ace of Swords, 10 of Wands. It's been a really long road, but it's getting everything that you want. And maybe it doesn't look exactly the way that you want it to. Maybe it's not with the person that you thought it was going to be with. Maybe it's not in the same situation, or maybe it's a different job, or, you know, whatever it is for you. You have all of the aces here for November, Aquarius. All of them. All 4 of them. Clarity. Emotional fulfillment. Stability in your life. Really exciting new adventures. Sparks of creativity and passion. Use that. Don't sit in this 9 of Swords and think, when is this going to happen to me? When am I going to become the Empress? Because you already, well, and you can be a male and be the Empress too. It's just about mastering yourself and being creative and starting new and fresh. But if you're looking upon somebody else and you're like, when do I get to have that? You do. You just got to open up your eyes and stop fighting with yourself. And stop trying to fight for something that wasn't working before. Because now it looks like it's working, but it looks completely different than you thought it would. So be patient. It's coming. It's coming in. And I feel like you guys really want to rush towards it, but there's that timid factor. You're not really sure if you should. I feel like it's coming to you whether you rush forward or not. I feel like this is something that you can't really stop from happening. So don't try to make it stop happening. In whatever area of this life, of your life it is. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful November. I will see you for the love readings, the soulmate love readings. Bye.